Namaste. Let's begin our practice by arriving here in your space as we are, perhaps sitting on a block so that we may elevate our hips above our knees, allowing for lengthening in our spine and rooting our sit bones into a block or onto your mat. Maybe gently closing our eyes, bringing our awareness inward, and just checking in with ourselves. And can we gently roll our shoulders back and allow them to relax away from our ears, softening the shoulders, softening the skin on our face. And then begin breathing in and out of your nose, practicing a controlled breath or pranayama, where we inhale into our nose, counting to maybe 3 or 4. And then we exhale the same length out of the nose. And as we continue to breathe, we are trying to smooth out our breath, controlling its flow by gently constricting the back of our throat so that we have a nice even flow of air in and out of the nostrils. And maybe as we breathe, we might start to hear the sound of our own breath. Maybe the sound of heavy breathing when you sleep, or the sound of a whisper, or a friendly Darth Vader. Gently blink your eyes open. Inhale, extend the arms up to the sky. Go ahead and shrug your shoulders up, and then just soften and relax them down. Taking another inhalation, we lengthen the spine. And on your exhale, you're going to twist over to your right from the belly, arriving with your gaze at the wall to your right. And as you inhale, lengthening to the crown of your head. Staying here for a couple breaths. On your next out breath, can you twist a little deeper? Maybe bring your gaze over your right shoulder, not forcing anything. On your next out breath, gently unwind back to the center. Inhale, extend the arms up to the sky again. Exhaling from the belly, which was over to your left. Again, we start at maybe 60% of the way, not 100%, maybe 70%, wherever is not quite your full range of motion. Lengthen the spine as we inhale. And then maybe on the next exhale, we explore on our out breath if we can twist a little deeper, maybe bring the gaze over our left shoulder, if it's available. Exhaling, coming back to center. Now let's begin with some articulation of the cervical spine. So we begin by dropping our chin down towards our sternum. Trace our chin right over our right collarbone, slowly and smoothly, until we arrive just in front of the right shoulder. And then tilting our head, bringing our right ear over the right shoulder without moving our shoulders ever so gently. We just tilt our head. Now imagine there's a pencil on the tip of your chin or your nose, and we're going to draw this rainbow by extending our head far back, long back in the neck. Oh, maybe listening to the Rice Krispies until our left ear arrives over our left shoulder into a head tilt on the other side. Smoothly and slowly, we draw our chin just in front, over the shoulder, just in front. And then we draw our chin, tracing our collarbone back to center. Let's do that again, opposite direction, starting with the chin, drawing and tracing that line right over our left collarbone, arriving just in front of our shoulder, left ear over the left shoulder. Draw that rainbow long stretch of the neck. Ear arrives over the right shoulder. Chin drops down in front of the right shoulder, tracing the collarbone back to center. Repeat that again, drawing over the collarbone, ear over the shoulder. Draw that rainbow back. Go at your own pace. Don't let me rush you. Back to center. And this time, as we move our chin back over our left collarbone, can we see if we can draw a slightly bigger circle without any pinching, reaching the head far back? If there's any pinching, back off and maybe go around. And gently we lift our chin up and we pause and feel the effects of that controlled articulation of our cervical spine. Come off of your block. If you're seated on a block or a blanket, place that off to the side. Let's come to a tabletop. Taking our time to line up our wrists right below our shoulders, knees right underneath our hips. Spreading our fingers wide, we gently draw our belly to our spine, just hugging everything in. On your inhalation, we're going to send our tailbone up, allow our belly to drop down, sliding the chest forward. On the exhale, send our tailbone down and slowly drawing one vertebra at a time up to the sky until we can chuck our chin down last, coming in the shape of cat. And we begin again, inhaling, tailbone up, belly comes down, sliding the chest forward. Long neck looking forward, exhaling, tailbone down, rounding one vertebra at a time, coming to the shape of cat. Continue at your own pace with your breath, inhaling into the shape of cow. Exhaling the shape of cat. And the next time you come into the cat pose, pause there. Pause in the shape of this angry Halloween cat. And we begin to gently press our hands into our mats and imagine as though we can pull our mat apart, or the ground beneath us apart, by energetically drawing our hands and knees apart from one another, and begin to notice how that feels inside the body. We hold it here for 3, 2, 1. On your inhale, coming back into cow pose. Exhaling back into cat. Pausing here again. We energetically draw the mat apart for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling back into cow. And then back into cat. Pausing here this time, we imagine as though we can crinkle the mat underneath us by energetically drawing our wrists and our knees closer together, and you should feel engagement of your core. We hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tailbone up, belly comes down, sliding the chest forward. Exhaling back into cat pose. Last time, energetically drawing the knees and the hands, tugging at the mat. For 3, 2, 1. Inhaling. And then bring our big toes together, make a little space for our belly as we sit back into child's pose, walking our hands forward, allowing head to come to rest either on a mat or on a block. Maybe we shimmy our hips and lean over to one side and then the other. Noticing how that feels on the side body and back body. And as we come to stillness and rest our forehead down on the mat or a block, maybe we gently push the earth away, sending our hips a little bit closer towards our heels, and feeling that lengthening in the back side of our body. On your next inhalation, staying low, let's walk our hands over to the right corner of the room. And once we arrive there, gently pushing the earth away, breathing into the left ribs. And then, after one more breath, we inhale and walk our hands back to the center and over to the left corner of the room. Gently pushing the earth away through our right hand, creating a little bit of tension in the right ribs and the right side body as we breathe into the spaces of the right ribs. Inhaling, we walk our hands back to center. Draw our hands by your head, press yourself up, back to a tabletop. Belly to spine, pushing the earth away. Inhale, extend your right leg back, left arm out in front. Thumb is faced up. Lengthening to the crown of the head, toes pointed down. What do we need to do inside our body to feel more stable in this shape? An option to stay here or continue to inhale and lengthen, and on your exhale, we're going to crunch it in, bringing our left elbow towards our right knee. Inhale, we extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. 3 more times. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. I don't know, was that 6? 1 for good measure, I suppose. And then release your left hand down, keep that right leg elevated, and then slowly with the right leg still lengthened, drop down to your right toes. We're gonna maybe pivot the left foot back to create this tripod, and we're gonna line up our wrists right below our shoulders, preparing to come into a supported side plank as we pivot the left heel down to the earth. Inhale, to the right arm up to the sky. And you can either choose to stay here or maybe come into a full side plank. Maybe stepping the left foot in front of the right, or maybe stacking the feet. And then really kind of becoming light in the right side body. And on your next exhale, coming back to a tabletop. Firming the belly to the spine. We inhale, extending the left leg back, right arm out in front. Inhaling here. On your exhale, crunch it in, right elbow to the left knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. 3 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Last one. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Keep the left leg extended, lower the right hand down, and then slowly with the left leg extended, drop down to your left toes. Again, lining up your right wrist, right with your right shoulder. We inhale, extend the left arm up to the sky. And as though you're floating that left side of the body up into the sky, to the ceiling. Option to come into a full side plank, either stacking the feet and where is your breath? Your next exhale, slowly coming back to the tabletop. And lifting up our toes, let's spread them nice and wide. And then tucking our toes underneath. Let's walk our hands towards our knees. And coming to a seated position on our heels. Spine nice and long, just a big stretch of the toes and the feet here. And if any time this becomes too much of a sensation, you have the option to come upright, leaving a little bit of the pressure, but still with the toes tucked underneath. And then inhaling, extending the arms up to the sky. We open our arms out to the side, crossing the right arm over the left, giving ourselves a hug, protracting the shoulder blades. And you can either stay here or wrap your forearms coming into eagle arms. Inhaling here, can we extend the elbows up? Feeling that stretch in the shoulders. And you can be here. And exhale, release that effort. Inhale, send the arms up again. Extend the arms out to the side. This time we cross the left arm on top of the right, giving ourselves a hug. Stay here. Or again, coming into eagle arms. Inhaling, extending the elbows up. And then releasing on the exhale, coming to our hands, untucking our toes, and just gently tapping our toes here. All this to prepare to come into a downward dog. So you can be here with your hands on your desk or at the wall. And isn't this a shape of downward dog? And the knees should be bent. Reaching your chest forward, hips back. There's almost a little bit of an arch in the back. So it's more about the back right now. And if we were to come into downward dog on the ground, we would stamp our hands, one handprint in front, just to create a little bit more space, or we slide our knees back, tucking our toes underneath, broadening our shoulders. Inhale here. Exhale, send our hips back into a downward dog. Again, the knees are bent. So the tendency is to want to bring our heels down. We compromise, we lose, we round our spine. Let's begin by bending our knees a lot here. And a balance between the hands and the feet. And then maybe we begin to pedal the feet out, one leg at a time. And then slowly we bring our legs to stillness. On our inhalation, we bend our knees, look past our hands, and maybe at the start we just walk our feet until we arrive behind our hands. Belly rests on top of the thigh. We grab the opposite elbows. And we just release our head, just let our head hang like a ripe, low-hanging fruit. And we begin to shift our weight to the outside of one foot, and then the outside of the other foot. And our upper body is just along for the ride. Our head, our neck is completely relaxed. We're not trying to move the upper body at all. It has no choice but to travel side to side because we're shifting our weight, we're moving our hips and our legs in a way that feels really good. And then slowly we come to stillness. Maybe we just turn our head left and right, like we're saying, oh, no thank you to any more stress for today, or just for this moment. No thank you. And we nod our head gently up and down. Yes, please. For a moment to ourselves. And then we become still. Release your hands onto your shin. Inhaling, we're going to slide our chest forward, mindful of any tables or furniture in front of us. And maybe here, we still keep our knees bent a lot because again, this is, about just as much or if not more about the spine. So it might be a little bit of an arch here in my back. The tendency is to round here. And if you're finding that your hands down here is causing the spine to round, so maybe we need to bring the hands up just above the knees. Again, this can be done at your desk. Make sure that your toes are pointed forward. And we lengthen the spine like we are a giraffe. And our neck is going to grow longer. Reaching our hips towards the wall behind us. Reaching through the crown of our head. Our gaze is just down at the ground beneath us. And then on the exhale, we forward fold again. This time we release our hands maybe down to the ground, or we can bring the earth towards us to reach our hands by placing a block or a book underneath our hands, and we release the head again. Again, pressing our belly on top of our thigh helps us to maintain length and integrity in our spine so we're not rounding. So bend your knees as much as you need to in order to press your belly against your thigh. A couple more breaths here. Staying in the forward fold, bring your hands to your hips. And we're going to firm our feet into the ground as though we're going to make imprints into the earth. And you should start to feel your sit bones widen behind you. Now, using your glutes and your abs, inhale, rise up. Pause and feel. Bring your hands by the side of the body. Toes are pointed forward, feet hip distance in the shape of mountain pose. Step your feet hip distance apart. Let's interlace the hands behind us. And if this is not comfortable to have your fingers here, there's an option. You can grab the opposite elbows. Inhaling here, we draw our shoulders down our back, lifting our heart up, looking maybe up at the corner of the ceiling, long back of the neck. And then we soften our knees. As we exhale, we fold forward, reaching our hands back, reaching our chest forward. And again, we try to find our belly touching a part of our thigh. Relaxing the head, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. We reach our hands up if the fingers are interlaced, or maybe we're just reaching our elbows up and back because we're grabbing onto our elbows. So let's try this sequence. Can you soften your jaw and reach either your hands or your elbows up and back or over a little bit more? Again, can we soften the mouth and the jaw? And then see if we can reach with our hands and our elbows up and back. Belly is still resting on top of the thigh. And then releasing the hands on the hips from your feet into the earth. Again, same process. We inhale using our glutes and our abs, rising up. Pause and feel. Inhale, turn the arms up to the sky again. Step your left leg far back, far back. And we sink down, maybe creating a 90 degrees in our right knee. Another breath here, inhaling. On your exhale, can we slowly lower down to your right knee? And here you may want to double up your mat or place a blanket underneath your right knee, untuck the back toe. And we're just resting our hands on top of our right knee. Relaxing the shoulder blades down. Maybe we explore kind of tilting our pelvis just a little bit forward, not completely tucking our tailbone down, but instead of arching our back like so, maybe we can become more upright. Whew. And see that? If we're okay here, we need a little bit more of a stretch, and we've got more room here in our psoas, then maybe we explore scooting your right foot, I'm on my left, forward. And I'm still kind of trying to gently tilt my pelvis forward a little bit. And can you feel that in your left psoas? Either balance with your hands on your knees, or you can explore extending your arms up to the sky. And then releasing your hands down. Here's where blocks or books can come in handy. But you don't necessarily need them, but you have them. What you can do is place them underneath a hand on either side and begin to walk the blocks towards the back of the mat, rolling onto the back of your right heel. Again, I'm on my left. And the reason the blocks are useful, you can even hold on to furniture, is because you're down here, you might be rounding your spine. So we're trying to find length in our spine here, kind of sliding the chest forward. And there's a little bit of bend in the knee. So you don't want to hyperextend, which is here. You want a little bit of a tiny, tiny micro bend, so that you feel the stretch in the belly of the hamstrings with the toes pointed up. And then we begin to energetically drag that right heel towards the back of the mat, creating a little bit of tension. Can you feel that? And can we begin to gently turn the toes over to your right, and on that side. Whew. Feeling it on the outside of the leg. And we're gently digging our heels in, dragging it towards the back of the room. And then slowly back to center. And then we internally rotate that leg, pointing the toes over to your left side. And slowly back to center. And we slowly walk our blocks forward, releasing our hands down. So for those of you who have a regular yoga practice and wanting to take your vinyasa now you can step back into your vinyasa and your flow. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what we're simply going to do is step back into a downward dog. We stay here for 3 more breaths, allowing those taking a vinyasa to catch up. And then once we're all in downward dog, we inhale, bend our knees, look past our hands, and we can either float or step our feet in between the hands. Take as many steps as you need to. We'll pause here into a forward fold. Firm your feet into the earth, feel the sit bones widen. And we inhale, using our glutes and our abs, we rise all the way up, sweeping the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, hands at heart center, and releasing by your side. Let's pause for a moment and feel. Beginning again, we inhale, turn the arms up to the sky. You're gonna step your right foot back and step my left foot into a high lunge. And we wanna try to keep that right leg nice and long and extended, making sure your left knee doesn't come beyond the ankles, like 90 degrees, pausing there to balance. And then on your exhale, can we slowly lower down, dropping down, this time to your right knee and tuck the back toes behind you. Oh, maybe we can bring our hands to balance here. And you know what? Use what you need to here. We're all in it together during this strange time. And we need to use whatever resources we have to support us where we are. And maybe that's with blocks, maybe that's with furniture, maybe with doubling up the blanket underneath our knee. And then we explore, noticing, okay, are we leaned a little bit forward? Is there space to draw the belly in and gently send our tailbone a little bit more forward so we're a little bit more upright? And then is there space to kind of sink down a little bit more, feeling that, in your right psoas this time. How does it feel on this side? An option to have your hands balancing on your knee, on the blocks, or we can inhale, send the arms up to the sky. The belly, the spine. One more breath here. On your exhale, releasing hands down to the block. We gently walk the blocks towards the back of the mat, back of the room, rolling on to the back of your left heel this time. Toes are pointed up, foot is flexed. And we begin dragging that heel back. It's not moving, but we're contracting the muscle and creating the tension. Can you feel that? And then slowly, we begin to externally rotate that foot. So it's going away from the body. So be over to your left. But we're still contracting the muscle, dragging the heel back. Maybe feel it on the outside, maybe your IT band, maybe into the glutes and the hips. And then when we've had enough of that, we bring the toes back to center and we explore internally rotating. We notice which side feels easier or harder. Another breath here. And then slowly bring the foot back to center and walk the blocks forward. Again, option to take your vinyasa here, or we simply tuck the back toe underneath and step back into a downward dog. Can we hug in the bones, broaden our shoulders? Can we find more space at the top of our breath? Can we reach our belly towards our thighs and our knees, lengthening our spine and our tailbone reaching up for the sky? And then on your next out breath, let's come down to our knees. Let's swing the legs out in front. Sitting up nice and tall with our hands reaching towards our toes, we lower ourselves down one vertebrae at a time, all the way down to the ground. Hopefully you have your balls handy. If you don't have the balls, you can use a couple tennis balls, racquet balls. And if you don't have the balls, now's a good time to come into Shavasana. So you can, in your practice here, or if you want to continue with the balls, we're going to bend the knees. We're going to take the balls out of the sack, one ball at a time, and we're going to massage 3 areas of our upper spine. We're going to start with the shoulders. So we're going to place the balls, and everybody has their sweet spot, right? That spot where you want that thumb to someone to come in there and kind of knead it. So it's going to be about here, yeah? And you might want to move it around. And then after that, we're going to move the balls a little bit closer on either side of the spine. in the upper thoracic spine. And then in between the shoulder blades, right here, just about where the middle upper back, maybe where the bra strap might be, yeah? And we can use a block underneath our bum too, or a book. But if you don't have it, that's okay. So coming back to the ground, go ahead and place the balls. Find that spot, nudge it, and it might get away from you. And take a moment, just to let the tissues kind of settle in and get used to the balls. And where the block and the book may come in handy is you can also lift up your bum, press your feet down the ground, place the block underneath and elevate your hips a little bit more. So you come in at a steeper angle, and you might like that actually, without the balls kind of running away from you. But if you're down on the ground without the block, that's okay. And just play around. And then using your breath, just allow the body to melt into the balls. Like your skin is hot wax, it's just gonna melt into the balls. And then on your own, without me cueing, you probably already started kind of shimming and moving and massaging out those knots. Maybe gently rolling up and down, maybe side to side. Being mindful that we're not seeking to cause any pinching pain. You know, is that happy middle of the way place between, that's interesting, but I know it's going to feel good after, yeah? And we gently roll up and down, side to side, and every now and then just come to stillness. And allow the tissues to relax and soften. And then maybe we adjust the balls, finding another sweet spot. And we go through that process again, being gentle with the body. And you certainly can stay here for a little bit. Of course, we don't want to overdo it. But I want to show you, too, how to move on from here. So if you're on a block, you may want to come off of it. And this is where we move now the balls a little bit closer together and a few inches down from the base of the neck. And if you feel your head is kind of too far back, you can always take a blanket, put it underneath the head, kind of prop it up a little bit. And again, settle into the balls. Go slowly and mindfully. You know, we're always in such a rush to kind of rub it all out, but let's just take your time and just gently roll up and down. And the idea is to try to create space in between the vertebra. Up and down. Maybe pausing one spot. Moving maybe a quarter of inch, pausing there. And then the other. And gently rolling up and down. And if it doesn't feel right for you, there's nothing wrong with you. We're all different inside our bodies, and each day could be different too. And if that's going well for you and you want to move on, now here's the tricky part. We got to find that spot. I kind of just like nudge it in. If you have someone to help you, that's also useful too. But I start with one ball, trying to find that spot. Right in between my shoulder blades. And take your time. Allow yourself to kind of settle in. Keep adjusting. Again, if this is too intense, back off. And here we settle into the balls. Or maybe we explore slowly extending one arm up at a time. How does that feel? If we're okay here, maybe we imagine as though we're holding, gently grabbing onto a big steering wheel, like we're going to drive a big truck or a bus with a big steering wheel. And the sensations here might be plenty. If we're okay here, maybe we start turning the steering wheel. Bring our right hand down to 6 o'clock, left hand at 12 o'clock, slowly. And then we begin to turn the steering wheel back in the opposite direction. Left hand at 6 o'clock, right hand at 12. And back and forth again. Nice and slow. See how that feels. Maybe we just let our hands kind of extend up, but in a soft way, kind of like it's floating up here. And we explore giving ourselves a hug, maybe right arm on top of the left. Ooh, protracting the shoulder blades. See how that feels? Drawing the shoulder blades apart from one another, and then we extend the arms up to the sky, and then we allow it to retract back. Whew. Can you feel that? Extending the arms up to the side again. This time we cross our left arm on top of the right. You notice a difference? Protracting, draw your shoulder blades apart. Slowly and mindfully, we extend our arms up to the sky. Ooh, and we allow our shoulder blades to retract back down, draping over the balls. And there will be gentle movement with the arms. You can explore. Ooh. And if this is your first time doing it, I recommend going slow, not overdoing it. And then gently, can we come off the balls, one ball at a time. Ooh, just place it off to the side. And just allowing your backs to relax onto the mat and noticing the effects of that practice with the balls, gently massaging your back. Just relaxing. And then can we draw the soles of the feet together again, allowing your knees to open up, butterflying out to the side. You can always put blankets underneath the knees for comfort. And one hand goes onto the belly, one hand goes onto the heart. And we feel our body being breathed. Noticing the rise and fall of the belly. Maybe we can even feel our heartbeat with the other hand. Closing our eyes. Allowing the body to soften. And then slowly, we extend one leg at a time down onto the mat, allowing the toes to fall on either side of the body. As we allow our arms to lengthen, palms face up, maybe tucking one shoulder blade at a time a little bit underneath us, so that we feel this broadening and openness in the collarbone. And we allow our eyes to close if that feels safe, releasing our jaw. And this practice of Shavasana could be just one of 2 or 3 postures you do today. Maybe you choose to opt out of all the others. Maybe you would like to stay a little bit longer than this video in this shape, maybe up to 7 minutes or so or longer. Just quieting the mind. And then when you're ready, take a couple deep inhalations, inviting warmth into the body, awakening the body. And then slowly extending arms over your head, stretching out from head to toe, maybe rolling out the wrists, maybe rolling out the ankles. Hearing your body speak back to you, maybe inviting a yawn if that feels right. And then slowly we draw one foot at a time onto the mat, rolling over to your favorite side. We pause to rest our head on the top of our arm, curling up. Enjoying the process of waking up. And when you're ready, gently pressing yourself up with your eyes still closed to a comfortable seated position of your choice. And I invite you to gather your hands at your heart center in the symbol of gratitude. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Wishing you well.